and underqualified for breasts. So I was out of work for about a year and a half and started making brownies out of my house. Guinea pigged on friends and family. And the week we launched our website to start selling online, I got a job. So I went back to work doing FDA regulatory stuff for medical device companies and things like that, and I was guinea pigging then on coworkers, and we started branching out from brownies into chocolates and things. And in 2013, I was selling my stuff to a little cupcake bakery in Fairview Park, and she asked if I wanted to partner with her on a second location on the far east side on East 185th. And I said sure, because my contract just happened to be ending at my job, and instead of re-upping for another year or whatever, I quit. And the space was way too large, way too small of a kitchen, way too huge of a storefront. I would have live bands come play. We would hold all kinds of fundraisers and stuff there because I had all this space, and nobody, like my storefront was probably 1.5 times the size of this, easy. It was 2,500 square feet total. People don't buy a whole giant box of chocolates and then sit and eat it, so it always just looked vacant, so it was terrible. And 3 months after we opened in that location, my business partner and her boyfriend came in the middle of the night and stole all the equipment and all of my money, and I never saw them again.
Oh.
So I got to start all over and finished out my lease there, survived the year there, and relocated to Lakewood in 2014. We opened there in November, or in October, I'm sorry, and then in November, Alton Brown from the Food Network was coming to speak at Playhouse Square, and I was 5 months pregnant, I had just relocated my business, was trying to recover from everything. I had a 2-year-old at home, and totally somehow, because he's my hero, missed that Alton was coming into town until the night before. So on a crapshoot, I sent him a tweet and was like, hey man, while you're in town, you should come get a brownie. And unbeknownst to me, because I had to ask him the next day, apparently like tons of my customers all tweeted Alton Brown that he needed to come into my store. So he texted me the night before at about 10 o'clock at night. My husband and I are sitting on the couch watching TV. I have a big old pregnant belly happening, and I get a tweet from Alton Brown, like a direct message, and he's like, how's 10 a.m.? And I was like, and I burst into tears. My husband was like, what is wrong with you? Like, assuming it was like hormonal, which it probably was. And I was like, Alton Brown is coming. I was like ugly crying, and because he's probably my favorite person in the world. And sure enough, at 10 a.m., my husband took the day off of work and brought his camera, and he showed up, and we hung out for like an hour, and I fed him all the things, and he bought a ton of stuff. I tried to give it to him because I knew advertising was going to come out of this, and he refused. He's like, you're a small business, I'm paying you for everything. He bought like $100 worth of stuff. He autographed a shirt, all this crazy stuff. We talked about Doctor Who and Star Wars and all this stuff. And then when he left, I ugly cried again. And then in December, he puts out every year, because he does all of his own social media, he does all of his own everything. He was taking selfies in my store with stuff and everything, and so all the pictures are his. He puts out a list of his top restaurants and top stores, food stores, and we were in his top 8 in the country in food stores that he went to, which was like the coolest thing ever. It was in the main dealer, it was like all over the place. We were getting orders from all over the country, all over the world. It was pandemonium. I had to hire my first employee the day after Alton Brown came. And you know, it's been an interesting ride ever since. I'm supposed to talk about niche market. I kind of tripped and fallen accidentally into my own little weird niche of deep chocolates. It's what I'm known for. Predominantly, I'm on TV all the time, usually dressed as Princess Leia or Darth Vader or something ridiculous, because that's how I roll. And I started with brownies initially because cupcakes are so boring. They're so overdone, and you can get them everywhere. And people come in and they yell at me because I don't have cupcakes, and I'm like, do this. And you'll point to some place that does a cupcake, but very few places do brownies, so I wanted to start there. Over the past 7 years, we've gotten into, we have 23 flavors of brownies, I think, at this point. Everything from plain, which is what's there, because I didn't know what people like, from plain to hot pepper to triple chocolate bacon stout to strawberry rhubarb, fig and chèvre, lots of really weird flavors. Totally had my hopes up, and then they emailed me and they were like, we're sorry, but we've decided not to have any food there. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I found out they were O'Malley's instead. So as a joke, I made little, I made cute little pops with little elephants that said GOP on them on the little blanket thing. And we do these Cleveland bars that are one of a kind that we had custom designed for us, sent them all this really cute stuff. And because I tend to get a little snarky, I went to my employee and I said, what could we do as just kind of a, jab, because they lied to me. So we decided to make Trump dumps. And they are a giant truffle in the shape of poop, with little candy eyeballs and little modeling chocolate wigs that are his little cloth. And
I saw that.
Yeah, we made national news for those.
Yeah.
So speaking of drawing all the weird attention, we made a dozen of them because they take forever to sculpt with a toothpick. We sculpt the little wigs. They're delicious because it's a giant truffle. But we made like a dozen and we launched them quietly because I don't like confrontation. I'm like getting hot thinking about it. People lost their minds. They were ordering them by the dozens. Trump fans, Trump haters, everyone. We sold 300 the first week. I think like pretty much my employee did nothing but sculpt hair for months on end. And they were real popular, and they tapered down, so we stopped making them again unless people ordered them. And then for the election, people were requesting them, so we made them again, and people were hand over fist just ordering them by the dozen for their election parties and for whatever, and everybody had a grand old time, nobody had any problems. And then it tapered back off, and we said if he won, we wouldn't make them anymore. So we stopped. Well, for the inauguration, phone calls and emails, why are you bringing them back? You gotta bring them back for the inauguration. So we bring them back a third time. And the day the inauguration happened, we started getting death threats and bomb threats and hate emails and voicemails with strings of expletives that I'm not dare to say out loud. I pretty much we weren't even open. We closed for the first couple weeks of the year. We weren't even open when it started. And I pretty much had a team of friends of mine who were helping do damage control as I sat in the middle of my storefront with a bottle of wine and cried that people were threatening my life over candy. The irony was not lost on me because the most, of course, favorite term was that I was the special snowflake, and I'm like, you're threatening to kill me over a piece of candy shaped like a poop. I don't know. So we did damage control on that. We got libelous reviews, people saying they were finding cockroaches in our cupcakes, which then was really funny because I'm like, if you're going to tear us down, at least do your homework because we didn't even make that. One-star reviews that we were racist, and to go along with my niche market and my weird chocolate shop. My employees over the years and help, because I've really only had 2 actual employees over the past 4 years, have been Black, Mexican, gay, straight, old, young, transgender, and I'm like, again, good for you to do your research while, so sometimes putting yourself out there for humor has a tendency to bite back, but so we pulled all social media about them, we pulled everything, made national news. A lot of the hate calls and stuff were coming from all over the country. We were hated from Texas to California to Michigan to the bomb threat came from a phone number out of Michigan, and all that. But the community, being in Lakewood, it's a very liberal community, so one customer put together a cash mob. We had 187 customers in one day, pretty much sold our entire store. Another customer put together a GoFundMe for a security system. So we have a security system and we donated all the remaining funds from that because it got way overfunded. We donated to charity. So it was really interesting. So we didn't make them other than by special order yet again for a while, and I just re-released them last week because I'm a glutton for punishment. And we haven't gotten any backlash from them yet, but we also just snuck them into the case and didn't say anything.